what this did, and it was started by Neil Gorsuch. I'm telling you, if he was here, I would get on my hands and knees and kiss his feet. I'm not saying I like every decision he made, but they overturned this. And this is absolutely one of the biggest Supreme Court decisions of all time. There are thousands, tens of thousands of convictions right now that may be thrown out. I mean, it is unbelievable. All these regulations now can be challenged because they're unconstitutional. It is absolutely a win for the citizens.
This is the Kevin Trudeau Show.
I am exposing the corruption in government and in major multinational corporations. We're telling you the things that they don't want you to know that will make your life better.
This is something that just came out, and it's absolutely amazing, and I have to educate you on this, and then I got a couple of things I want to talk about. The headline here is the Supreme Court weakens federal regulators, overturning decades-old Chevron decision. Okay, I'm not going to bore you with legalese. I will entertain you with some stories. So here's how it works. You have Congress that's supposed to pass laws. In America, we have three branches of government. We have the executive branch, which is supposed to enforce laws and deal with foreign policy. We have the judicial branch, which is supposed to interpret laws. And then we have the legislative branch, which is supposed to write laws. That's in the Constitution. The problem is the Supreme Court and the courts, they're not elected officials. They're appointed, and they get lifetime appointments. That way it doesn't matter to them which way they rule. It does matter a little bit because if they rule a certain way, they get more gratuities so they can travel around in private jets and live a lifestyle of a billionaire, even though they're only making $300,000 or $400,000. So they are influenced by the money. They even wrote a law, the Supreme Court said, that's why they said gratuities are okay because they're not bribes. Oh, wait a minute. You just made a ruling to help that guy. That guy hit a home run because you ruled in his favor. Then he let you and his wife on his 200-foot private mega yacht for a month, which would have cost $2 million. And you're saying that that's not a bribe? Oh, it happened afterwards. The Supreme Court allowed themselves to be bought. And it's completely legal. I love it. I love it. Welcome to Banana Republic. All right, man. Banana Republic of America. Yeah, man. Go to highest bidder. What are we it's Joseph Stalin over here? What accent am I putting on? I don't even know. All right, so here's how it works. The Congress people, the senators and the representatives, they get elected. So number one, they want to make sure whatever we write for legislation gets us reelected, but most importantly, gets us money from donors. Okay. So if I write something really clear, I'm going to piss somebody off. So I want to make sure that all my laws are really vague. That way I can claim, no, I voted for kids. I voted for patriotism. I voted on the Patriot Act. I voted on this good stuff. Because all the laws are written that are so vague. Congress does that on purpose. And the deal was the agencies in the executive branch, like the EPA, Environmental Protection Agency, SEC, Securities and Exchange Commission, FDA, Food and Drug Administration, FBI, Federal Bureau of Investigation, DOJ, Department of Justice, FTC, Federal Trade Commission, etc., etc. All of these agencies get the law, and they can interpret it any way they want, and they can write a regulation. Because the court, in this Chevron decision, said yes, when the law is vague and ambiguous, the agency in the executive branch can interpret it any way they want, because they're the most qualified to interpret it, and they can write tens of thousands of pages of regulation based on a very vague law. These regulations, my friends, are new laws written by unelected officials, most of which are crimes if you break them. You don't know this. This is why Neil Gorsuch on the Supreme Court said there are hundreds of thousands of laws called regulations written by unelected officials in the ABC agencies in the executive branch, most of which you will go to prison if you break them. And he goes, this is unconstitutional because only Congress can write a law. But the way it has been worked out for decades is the agencies write the laws, hundreds of them, but they're not called laws, they're called regulations. But they also give you the penalty. It is shocking. And in my case, it happened as well. The Federal Trade Commission came after me and said, we have a doctrine that says the mirror image doctrine and Trudeau violated it. I go, that's not a law. It is because we wrote it. No, Constitution says only Congress can write a law. No, but it's a regulation. What? Welcome to America. You're under arrest. What a country. Do you realize we have millions of laws, both state and federal, most of which you go to jail for, which is why H. Ross Perot, billionaire who ran for president against Clinton and Bush, said, and so did Neil Gorsuch on the Supreme Court, every person in the United States of America is breaking a law, because you could be breaking a regulation, and subject to prison. Everyone. All the government has to do is point the finger at you and say, we're going to investigate you. You are going to be found guilty of a crime, and you will be charged with a crime, be found guilty of a crime, and be given a prison sentence if the government wants. This is what the government wants, complete control over every single citizen, and that's how they do it. A miracle happened, quite frankly. It's an absolute freaking miracle. The Supreme Court weakens. What this did, and it was started by Neil Gorsuch. I'm telling you, if he was here, I would get on my hands and knees and kiss his feet. I'm not saying I like every decision he made, but they overturned this. And this is absolutely one of the biggest Supreme Court decisions of all time. There are thousands, tens of thousands of convictions right now that may be thrown out. I mean, it is unbelievable. All these regulations now can be challenged because they're unconstitutional. It is absolutely a win for the citizens, not the illegal people that are here in America. If you're here illegally, you shouldn't be here. You broke the law. Please come in legally. We need millions, tens of millions of immigrants in America. We want the best of the best. Come in legally. Don't come in illegally. And if you can't take care of yourself, don't come here. This is huge for the citizens of the United States and freedom, and it could be a tipping point. Hi, I'm Kevin Trudeau. This is everything they don't want you to know about to improve the quality of your life. Broadcasting every Monday and Wednesday, 2 days a week now. Monday and Wednesday at 1 o'clock Chicago time. Make sure you tune in and subscribe to the channel and share these shows with everyone you know.